Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
So we do this in HD television. Is that what it's called? HD television streaming. It is on TV. It's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. This is today only, Monday, November 5th. You come to Hy-Vee, you pick up a paper bag, fill it with all your favorite fruits and vegetables or shortcut items, and then save 20% off the contents of this bag at the register. Today only. It's a Make My Monday at Hy-Vee. And as someone that has tried to have more fruit and vegetables in my life, shout out to my friends Asparagus and blueberries. I see you. Load it up and then save 20%. The first time that we did this a couple months ago, I put in like locally grown muscatine or muskmelons, and I couldn't fit a watermelon in here, but I still got to take 20% off. So you should do the same here at Hy-Vee. And now it's going to disappear. There it goes. Just like that. I want to say I was driving to work, and I think I witnessed something pretty cool. So I was at the intersection of, what's that road that runs into 2nd Avenue over here that curves around, that connects to Izet? What's that one called? That little, right along Lake Park Boulevard. Thank you. I should know that. Our guests knew that. You just couldn't hear them because their mics were off. So at the intersection just about Lake Park Boulevard and 2nd Avenue, I believe I saw our very own Del. Is it Del Wagner, right? With Hy-Vee. He had the Hy-Vee van pulled over, and he was helping someone push their vehicle out of the intersection. Traffic was backed up a little bit. I can't confirm this, but I did see Del and the Hy-Vee vehicle, and I thought, that Del is a good guy. And he's in such great shape that he could have just ran behind the vehicle. Since he does the watermelon stampede, he could have pushed that thing wherever it needed to go. So that's just Del going that extra step for someone that, whether he knew him or not, he lent a hand, and that was awesome. So shout out to Del. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. I hope you had a good weekend. It was a busy one for myself. A lot of fun to be had. I was here on Friday for a long day. We had our holiday show with a bunch of sampling. We'll show some pictures later on. I was down at the Brew later Friday, and then Saturday. Congrats to Caitlin and Jake Taylor. Even though they've been married for a little while, they had their reception at the beautiful Merrill Hotel in downtown Muscatine, and that was a good time. From what I've been told, that was the biggest wedding at the Merrill to date. They had 700 people there. They had, not 700, that's an exaggeration. They had a lot, though, and it was a really good time. Had by all. First wedding that I've been at where they had a make-your-own cotton candy deal, and a popcorn machine, and a sheriff. It's the first wedding that I've done where Muscatine County Sheriff C.J. Ryan has been at, so that was cool. And I didn't leave in handcuffs, everybody, so I want to give myself a pat on the back. That is a perfect segue to our guests that are here. From the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office, to my right, Zach Lane, to his right, Quinn Reese. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Zach,
Thanks for having us.
Quinn, good to see you. Now, here's the thing that people don't know. I saw Quinn on Saturday at the wedding. Ardith was there. I mean, there were a lot of folks from Muscatine County Sheriff's Office at the wedding, certainly. And then apparently Zach was there briefly, and I missed you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I heard you.
Man, you heard me?
I heard you.
Oh, that's good.
You tuning up the place.
Okay. So, Zach, it's exciting. It's great to have both of you here. But recently, I guess within the last 2 months, you were telling me, you have Nico, who is the newest canine for the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office. So Nico is yours. And I don't think people understand that when you have a canine with you, that canine, Nico, lives with you. Like it's not your dog per se, but I mean, he's at your house, right?
Correct.
So all the time, got to be with you. Let's just talk about how that's been so far. Is this something that you thought you would ever want to get into? Or were you approached about, hey, look, the Sheriff's Office has an opportunity to get a canine. We'd love to talk to you about that. How did that go?
Well, actually, since I was little, it's been a long goal/dream of mine. And obviously, I've been very blessed to have it at such an early stage in my career.
Sure.
But at the time, Corporal Dusty Brooks retired his canine just a couple months after I got hired. So we had an opening for about 2 years, but unfortunately the two people that applied for it, myself and Deputy Bowling, were so new to the road that it would have not made sense to give us that position. So move along, 2 years in, 2.5, and we both had some time on the road, and unfortunately for Deputy Bowling, he had some life changes going on that he decided he didn't want it anymore.
Sure.
And it left it up to me. So whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, I mean, here I am with Nico. So I couldn't be, any more blessed about it. It's a phenomenal gig.
Yeah.
Probably the best one in law enforcement, in my opinion. But
I was going to say, it's such a unique position, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, Quinn, you've gone through some training, I know, to assist, but just talk about the benefit of having Nico and the absence of having a canine for the last 2 years. You have to be so excited for the sheriff's office, right?
I was a handler for 10 years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Before.
Okay.
So going without one does prove to be difficult at times. Not only with the assistance with searching vehicles and whatnot, evidence recovery, tracking down people. Going without one on that shift for as long as we did was difficult.
Sure.
Having to rely on other agencies for their assistance.
Right.
We have another dog on midnight shift, so if it came down to it, we could call that dog out, call that handler out. But you're talking about a time lapse in there.
Yep.
So having one readily available on shift is a huge benefit for us.
And I know it's just, for the department. So there's 2 canines, is that correct?
Correct.
2 canines, which is good. And then we know this because we chatted with Muscatine PD a couple months ago. They have 2 canines now. So really, if anything happens in Muscatine County, we have some great resources available with these canines. I mean, and the thing is, like, Zach, Nico, they're so intelligent, and Quinn, from 10 years of doing it, it's unbelievable to me how smart these animals are. I mean, they're brilliant. Like I understand the training that goes into it, but to know that when it's go time, that you can literally almost flip a switch with them to put them into work mode or whatever you call it. I mean, it's something else for sure. And the thing that I always say, and sometimes I say it with a smile, it's like, if you're doing something bad, it's one thing to do something bad and y'all show up, but then if you have that side of the vehicle that says canine and you kind of have a sense of what you might be dealing with, I would just do this move, like, okay, Nico, I'm cool. I don't want to,
there's a distinct change in attitude.
Right. Absolutely. And you hope, of course, best case scenario, like, just the presence of a canine is enough to deter people from doing something bad.
Believe it or not, the mere presence of a canine has been proven to reduce use of force reports. I mean, a lot of people will fight with us all day long, but as soon as a dog gets there, I don't know if it's they're dog lovers or if they're just scared, but they do that, hands up.
I'm scared.
And I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a couple times where Nico didn't scare me. But
well, I mean, it's it can be intimidating for sure. So all right, so you've had Nico for 2 months. So before having Nico and working with Nico, was there just constant training or what? I mean, it's a whole first of all, it's a process to secure the funds for a canine because they're not cheap. I mean, this is not your $400 or $500 standard dog, and I use that term loosely, of course, because Nico is certainly bred and trained for this. But what was the process like before, working with Nico for 2 months? I'm sure you had been training for how long?
So I would actually assist and help out the PD's canine training as well as Sergeant Bowers whenever he would be on shift or do something, whether that be going to schools for demos or going to their monthly trainings.
Sure.
And it kind of gave me a better feel of what I'd be dealing with. Now it doesn't actually, when you take over that lead, it's 100% different than you think you're ready for it until you get into that position, and then it's a huge change. So, but my training compared to Captain Reese, Sergeant Bowers, and Dusty is super different. Nico was pre-trained, so we went down and selected him. He had already been imprinted in all the narcotics, trained in tracking, basic obedience. But Captain Reese and them, they went down and selected what's called a green dog, where the dog has very, very minimal training, and they started from day one and trained that dog pretty much themselves. So as they were training, the dog was training and learning. So That's probably the biggest change for me, is that I stepped into a role where this dog could eat me up at any minute.
Sure.
And I'm brand new and I have no idea what I'm doing, in a sense, you know. And it's just it's crazy to think about it. And Nico's adapted to me very well. We've bonded, you know, phenomenally. So he's doing
that's
great.
Probably what you want, Quinn. I mean, certainly your experience, 10 years doing it, being an unbelievable resource for Zach. I mean, there are certain things that you probably can just suggest, or during it, you know, when you probably have all the different examples of circumstances you found yourself in during those 10 years. I mean, I'm sure there's things that could surprise you, or things that could happen, things change, but to have that and to be able to say, when we had something similar, like if someone was missing, or if this, you know, instance, I'm trying to think of things I can say that are PG-ish, if this thing presented itself as a challenge, this is how I approached it. That's a really nice thing to have, you know, because not a lot of people will be able to talk to someone every day about that, right? I mean, I'm sure that for some officers that have canine, like maybe there's a phone number to call or additional training, but to have someone right there with you is excellent, for sure.
And he trains monthly,
Sure.
With the handlers from the police department, as well as a Quad City group,
Sure.
where there may be 10 to 15 dogs at any given time training. So those guys are constantly running things by each other, talking about different scenarios that they've been involved in the last month. So it's a great training resource, and great experience just through those other guys.
So Nico and other canines, from what I understand, they're always ready to work.
Yes.
They seem to have boundless. I mean, there's energy just nonstop, just wanting to get after it. Zach said that before you came here this morning, 20, 30 minutes playing with Nico to just kind of wear him out a fraction, a little bit, right?
Yep.
So I mean, Nico is ready to go when you need him, which is great. But like, how has it been at home? Because at home he's got to just be in, like, you know, work mode, but also, I mean, take a nap if you need to, right? I mean, like, hopefully I don't know how the edge is on these, if they're able to just lay down and not feel like, do I have to go now? So how has that been? How's the home part of it been?
So it's been a slight struggle for the
Sure.
most part, because all of our dogs at the sheriff's office have been Belgian Malinois, and they're just they're 100% ready to go, go, no chill time. They're just workaholics, as opposed to like you know, your typical German Shepherd. They're very good working dogs, but they also have a very mellow temper.
Sure.
They're not 100 mile an hour always. And so the biggest thing, it all depends on how much training. We try to do an hour of training on shift per day.
Wow.
And that includes, you know, basic obedience, playing fetch, bonding time. So it all depends on how the weather is and how much training we can actually do and how much he's used on the road. Now, there's some days like yesterday where it rained 3/4 of my shift. I got him out for 40 minutes and we did some.
Yeah.
But by the time, that was at the beginning of the shift, so by the time I got home, you know, he's like, "What are we doing, Dad?" I'm still, you know, I've been sleeping in the back of the car. I used him once on the road and you know, so he gets home and he's doing circles in his kennel and he's barking and sometimes I have to go put him in the back of my car for a couple hours just to make him sleep, because he feels more, you know, secure and chilled out in the back of my car. So. And then, of course, you know, you got the neighbors that are calling in the PD on you because you got a barking dog that won't shut up. So,
You just go over to the neighbors. I like how honest you are. You just go over to the neighbors and you're like, "I can save you the call. I understand. And if you ever need help, by the way, that 911 number kind of works the same way here."
All of them know. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I would
got a
love to
canine
be your
Tahoe
neighbor
outside,
because I feel like nothing would ever happen.
You'd think that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, burglar, go next door and say hi to Nico. He's ready." No, but listen, I mean, I'm excited for you because, you know, you mentioned that you wanted to do this since you were little, and to have that dream become a reality. I know that you're going to continue to work hard so that the question I'm getting to is, in the 2 months so far on the street with Nico, have you been in positions that you can talk about, certainly, where Nico was deployed or used? And again, tread lightly, because I know that a lot of this stuff we can't disclose a lot, but has Nico been utilized?
Yeah, I just so every month we have end of the month reports that I have to fill out and I send up
Sure.
to Captain Reese, and I just finished mine yesterday, and I deployed him in the month of October. He had I want to say 18 deployments,
Okay.
And some of those are, you know, school searches, jail searches. And I think we had a total of 8 fines and over 100 grams of marijuana.
Oh my gosh!
So he did the month of October was great for him.
Wow.
And then we had what's called an article search, where some people fled in Wilton, and he located a wallet that one of the suspects dropped.
Holy
and so
moly.
that's a big deal for.
Does he? Okay, so when he
them.
finds the wallet, obviously he's trained to not like eat it. Like my dog would just hand me like a piece of my debit card and it'd be like fantastic. Or like my 3.5-year-old, it would just go right into the washer. So, but for Nico, I'm assuming just brings it to you in one piece, maybe a little tooth mark on it.
So
but.
that time.
Or does he not even pick it up? Does he just bark where it is?
No, he's trained to lay down on it with it literally in between his legs.
What?
But this time we were trying to do a call out of a cornfield.
Yeah.
And he picked up a scent of them and basically went into the cornfield. Next thing I know, I come out and he's got a wallet laying at my feet. So it was just,
unbelievable,
I mean,
right?
it's little things like that you don't behind the scenes you
Yeah.
don't see. I mean,
What else are you going to use to find something like that?
you can't. So
I mean, like the example someone could throw out is like, well, what if there was a drone, an infrared drone? Like, no, that it's not very practical. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't ever think people will. I hope no one would ever say like, do we need canines? There's a great example right there. Even with all the advances in technology, having a resource that is trained that can just identify, that to me is a trip. So and this is a crude example, but if I was hiding somewhere in this store, or anybody, Nico could find them. Here's a smell of an old shirt or whatever. There you go.
You don't even need that. It's based off of. I mean, obviously, in a store like this, that would not be practical because he'd be trying to chew everybody up. But if it was like a burglary to the store and there's forced entry, there's a tactical way to do it, and then there's what we call just a basic building search where I could cut him off lead and he'd go around and the chances are pretty high that he's going to find you.
So and also
It's not
like
going to end well.
also, I went to a giant public high school, and I don't want to say there were searches that often, but it doesn't really matter the size of these buildings these schools are in. Like bringing something to school, it just seems like a bad idea because you bring in a Nico and he just immediately finds it, right? I mean, and obviously trained to smell other things besides just narcotics, right? I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, don't ever find yourself being the person that's like, yeah, today seemed like the good day to try and hide this, because it's not you guys that are going to identify the smell, although sometimes you probably can, right? Sometimes all of us would be like, well, that smells a little weird. But for Nico, it's just fascinating to me how when you said that the imprinted, so he just knows. Like it's just part of him to be able to identify these things.
The way they do it is, I mean, he's got, and I'll bring one in with me so I can show you, but he's trained on a tennis ball.
Okay.
So that tennis ball is like when so they imprint the dog, and he doesn't care about the odor that he's looking for. He cares about where that tennis ball is coming.
Gotcha.
So he knows if I find this odor, I've got essentially like a prey coming out and he's just going to kill this tennis ball.
Perfect.
So that's how you differentiate. Like you always see handlers with, some of them use fire hose. I think that's what you used, if I'm not mistaken.
I used towels and tennis balls. Everything they do is off of a play drive.
Gotcha.
So they're always looking for that toy.
Gotcha. So they're just like, I know I'm going to get this reward or this play if I do this for you. Look at I did this.
Right.
And I imagine even when you're training or burning off that energy, that reward, if it's not instantaneous, you probably get an excited
very
bark or right. I mean, a little great picture, by the way. A little bit of a woof or two, right? So they're expecting it, so that you can't delay, right? Zach, you got to be like, all right, here's the tennis ball, or Quinn with the towels or whatever, because they're ready for you. Because they're like, look at what I did. I did my job.
Timing is very critical when you're
I bet.
Feeding that reward is a art unto itself. Being able to get it in front of them at the exact right time.
Man.
So it's difficult.
Do you think that people understand how, and in a minute or two we'll bring Nico in, but I just want to talk about the scope, the size of Muscatine County. 6 years of resident of Muscatine now. I understand the layout of the county, but when I tell people like my dad, who's retired Chicago police, he'll be out here in a week. You know, sometimes the perception of a smaller Iowa town is, there's like 15 to 20,000 people. It's, two intersections and a gas station and a Hy-Vee, of course. This county is big, right? So you guys are out and about. And Zach, I know that I don't really know for sure, but it seems like when you're working or you're on your shift, you covering just certain parts of the county, or is it different for you because you have Nico? Are you expected to cover more ground or concentrated ground or what?
It's not like trust me, if there was like we have different areas of assignments, and obviously my favorite is called the traffic car because I can free flow through the county. I'm readily available, and I make a lot of traffic stops. That's what you're supposed to do with a dog. But we have areas of assignment, and having the dog doesn't really. You have the dog, so you should be here. I mean, there's times where I'm far west car, but if I'm needed, I'm more than able to go anywhere I need to go. So, and even those little sections of the county that we are assigned, you can't really call them little. They're huge. So it's a lot of area for one car to cover.
It is a lot of ground, and Quinn, as you and I well know, when unfortunately, when things come up where someone has fled or is missing, I mean, all of a sudden, that's when you probably get a sense for the scope or the size of the county, right? I mean, I'm in Muscatine most days, so I'm just sort of in this city bubble. But certainly, you get out just a few minutes, few blocks, a couple miles, and just God's country. I mean, a lot of trees, wooded areas. A lot of open land. Certainly, when the crops are high, I mean that can be another challenge, right? So it's just a lot of ground to cover, and I just hope that for folks that are watching this, you understand that, like, if you see the Muscatine County Sheriff's vehicles in various parts, I mean, maybe you don't know. I don't know, Brian, if there's a map of the county just for scope, but it's just a lot of ground to cover for sure. And I think it's excellent that we have 2 canines readily available to help, right? And I never want to be able to sit here and say that there's a case of someone missing in Muscatine County, but, God forbid if that does happen, we know that there's 2 canines that are able to hopefully get on that scent and lead you in the right direction. Best case, find a wallet for somebody that fled. It's so great.
Just go wait for them at their house.
How do you? I mean, like, if my wallet was gone, first of all, I got the very small. I need a new wallet. Mine's a little old, but like I feel like I would know that was gone, and I don't know if the suspect was just fleeing and it just fell out of their pocket, but. I also wouldn't turn around if I knew that there was a canine not too far behind me. I'd be like, forget that wallet. I can get a new ID.
Or just not run.
Or just not run. Captain Reese.
That's the best option.
Head it off right at the beginning. Yep.
Right. Sheriff C.J. Ryan would like me to reiterate to you folks at home, rather than making sure you have your wallet when you're running from the Muscatine County Sheriff, just don't run. Let me take a firm stance in the don't run department. This is why, guys, growing up, when my friends, of course, I was just by happenstance, I would be around my friends that were making foolish choices. I never ran. I was also a bigger person, but even when I was at St. Ambrose, in college at a house party and Davenport police showed up, I never ran. And one time, one of the cops even said, "You're not running?" And I said, "I know that doesn't end well." Right? I said, "You're probably pretty good at tackling people, and I don't want to be tackled, so I'm just going to walk out." And he was like, "That's pretty good. All right, you're free to go." And I was like, "Thank you. I appreciate that." So usually, if you handle it like that, now I'm not saying go to a college party in Davenport. I'm just saying, like, don't run, y'all. Like, if you see Zach, like, just know that Nico is just ready. And you are the life-size tennis ball, essentially.
That's 100% correct.
You might as well just be a life-size tennis ball. All right. What do you think? Do you want to bring Nico in?
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So we will, Ryan Broderson will probably meet you at the door, and then if Nico needs a minute to just whatever, sniff it out, and then kind of head back this way, and we'll chat a little bit more and show everybody Nico, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and we'll get Zach, Lane, and Captain Reese to the front of the store, and we'll get Nico in here. This is exciting for us. I obviously big supporter of law enforcement and having opportunities to chat with folks like yourself. This is great. So, yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Sound good? All right. So, in the meanwhile, look at that. Christmas, everybody. Christmas is here. It is here in full force. Yep, that's a polar bear with a scarf on. Polar bears get cold, Ryan Broderson. You might think that they're equipped for the winter weather. Betsy's just not believing anything I'm saying at this point. She's like, "Tony, you're a human polar bear." So, yeah, very festive, though. And also, we should note, Betsy, and maybe we'll do this since we have a minute. Do you want to take the cart cam and show everybody how big those giant unicorn things are? Okay. All right, go ahead. She's very excited about this, Captain Reese. Very excited. Well, it doesn't take much to get her excited. All right, so Betsy's going to take the Toyota Muscatine cart cam towards the dairy department, actually right near where the aisle cam is set up. So we'll kind of have a little camera inception here. And there's Betsy. So she's going to show you some of these. You know, we got to have some Christmas presents in the store. There's Emily walking the store. And then we'll come back with Zach Lane and Nico in just a second. Ryan Broderson heading towards the front of the store. All right, so here goes Betsy turning into the dairy. And then on top of those dairy coolers, that's where you're going to find, and Betsy's going to show you this in a second, these 6-foot-tall unicorn. I would have to buy a bigger house to have, and I couldn't have one of them in my house because, as I'm quickly learning, if you buy one thing for one kid, you got to buy another. So I don't know why that took me this long to understand that, but note to self, parents everywhere, if you got more than one kid and you bring one kid home something, the other kid is going to get angry with you. So for only $100, 6-foot unicorn. I'm glad that she's not trying to grab one because, oh no. Oh boy. I was going to say, she's giving us an example of size. So it's taller, by all accounts, it's taller than Betsy. She's, you know what, Captain Reese, if you ever need somebody to scale a building, she's happy to do it. And here we go. Here is a live look at the front of the store. There is Sam working hard, and there is Zach Lane and Nico, Ryan Broderson on the mobile cam. And going to come right through the produce department. Oh, I love this perspective. This is awesome. So, Nico, you can see just excited to be, and probably Nico's first time in Hy-Vee. So this is a new environment. Lot of different scents, I'm sure, going on. Walking right past that Thanksgiving display. Wow. Captain Reese, Nico, I feel like I can tell younger dog. Is he?
Just over 2 years old.
2 years old, okay.
Probably in the neighborhood of 50, 55 pounds.
Wow.
Which is a typical size for a Malinois.
Yeah. And there is Nico approaching the set of Hy-Vee today. Look at this. This is great. Hi, Nico. How you doing? Wow. All right. So look at Nico. Oh, my gosh. This is fantastic. Is it cool to pet Nico? Of course. Hey, Nico. How we doing? My coworker, Steve Graham, I'm going to have to page him because Delmer, I hope you're not holding anything, pal. That's right. Good. All right. Good deal. So this is Nico, and this is Nico's first time in Hy-Vee. Zach, I'm gonna clip this. Maybe I'll let you clip it on. I don't want Nico to think that I'm touching you. All right, Nico. Good job. Wow. This is exciting. So when you went out to get Nico, was he so excited to get out of the car? He was doing circles in the car.
And especially when he hears the unlock, he's already like looking.
He's ready to go. Oh my gosh, Ryan Broderson's coming around with the cool fancy camera. So does everybody at the sheriff's office around Nico, I mean, is that something, you talk about the continuous education or training. I mean, certainly Captain Reese, having done it 10 years for yourself, but is it important for everybody that may come into contact with Nico to be around him now? So that he has a scent or a sense.
Well, he's going to be in the office. He'll be running around the building.
Sure.
We have deputies coming and going throughout the day. Mm-hmm. They're going to be calling on the K9 for different services, whether it be tracking or searching a car or something like that. So it does help to have our staff comfortable with him and have him comfortable with the staff.
I know he's hyper alert. I can tell he's hearing everything and looking at everything. I mean, this is so. I don't know, Betsy, if you want to zoom in a little bit. There we go. That's great. Is that Chad's camera? That looks awesome. You can just tell he is like, I'm so happy to be out, but I'm ready to go. And this is just so great to see. And I don't know if you can disclose. And it's not about shocking people with how much of an investment Nico is, but I mean, I don't know if that's something you can share. As far as
they are a very large investment for us.
Sure.
But we're also looking long term.
Yeah.
Where we may have him on the road, health permitting.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11 years.
Wow.
So, a dog that we pick up at the pound or find out in the county somewhere probably isn't going to make the cut.
Right.
So they are a substantial investment for us.
Absolutely. And I mean, you think about that, and Zach, there will never be a shift where Nico isn't with you. So there's not like it's not like Nico's going to get any days off except for when Zach's off, of course.
Correct.
But even still, you know, we talk about having 2 canines. If Zach is off shift, you get that call, you have to go, right? I mean, that's just how it is, especially, I imagine, with the canine. I mean, I don't want to say you're more on call, but...
Essentially, I am. I mean, 24/7, and I, you know, I knew that going into it.
Sure.
Now, the good thing is I don't really go out and drink or do anything.
Sure.
You know, I don't really do a whole lot. If we do something as a family, it's going to the movies or something. So I'm always usually available. And I love getting called out. I mean, it's like, because then you know you're going out to do something that you know, the dog wants to do. So.
Well, you already have chosen a job that is a lifestyle. Please, come on up, Nico. If he wants to jump up on me, that's cool. You want to come up here? No? He's like, I don't know you, dude. You smell weird. I think I smell okay. I got good cologne on, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're both of you, and certainly everybody with the sheriff's office. I mean, this is not a typical job. It's a lifestyle, but it is in the sense that when you complete your job for the day, you just want to go home to your loved ones, to your favorite couch, to watch your favorite show or your favorite sports team. I mean, ultimately, that's just it. And I know I say that a lot on the show when law enforcement or firefighters are here, but that's I can't stress it enough. I mean, ultimately, you choose to get up and do the job that you do, but at the end of the day, it's all about just getting home and being with family. And by the way, what a nice addition to the family, right?
Yeah, and you know, Diana uses him as a, you know, stress reliever. She goes out to his kennel more than I do just to sit there and talk to him. But that's something a lot of people don't know also is he's not potty trained. He lives outside in a kennel. I mean, I'll bring him into the garage or something if it gets too cold. But it's come home, go to the kennel, go to work. I take him out and I walk him at least once a day if I'm not working, maybe 2 times. And I let him out and free run the yard. But, you know, he's great with the kids, great with the wife, so.
It's good. It's good. Brian, do you want to bring your camera around? Just, I mean, I know we can see Nico, and we're not trying. Look at that. What a stud, right? A little bit of a shedder, I can tell, right?
Oh, he just started shedding, actually.
Well, oh, fun.
Right when it started getting cold out.
Do we need to, like, donate a shop vac to your vehicle yet, or is there an official sheriff's office?
We have a line item.
Do you need a dirt devil? Can I get it? Are there still dirt devils, by the way? And if there are, could we get one? Nico, how you doing? Wow. I mean, it. You know, look at that. That's a great shot right there. It's so cool to be able to know that we have this resource, Nico, and obviously Zach Lane with us in Muscatine County when we need the assistance. Like, gonna be there for you. And you know, this is such a fun thing for Nico, probably.
Oh, he loves it.
Right? Are you? Oh my gosh, look at that shot. What a. All right, give him his own show.
Just stop talking.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Nico's thinking at this moment, I can see you at home with those narcotics, and I'm coming for you. We're just kidding, of course. Do you work today, or have you already?
I do.
Worked? Okay.
I go in at 1:45.
All right, perfect.
Yep.
So this is sort of like a little bonus for Nico to get out before shift. Oh man, yeah, it's just great. Yeah, I wonder how his mind right now is just processing everything.
It's all new to him. Yeah. Like I said, the other night we took him into Jake and Caitlin's ceremony at the Merrill, and he actually did, you know, really well. Yeah. A lot better than I thought he was going to do.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is, it's so important, I know, guys, to be able to get into schools and in front of groups, and I wonder if that's something that as we kind of wrap up here, for people at home that might be connected to a school or a group, is it a matter of just reaching out to the sheriff's office and trying to get something scheduled?
They can get a hold of the sheriff directly.
Okay.
Go to our website. Hit us up on Facebook.
Sure.
We love doing those.
Yeah.
It's great exposure for us. It's great exposure for the sheriff's office.
Absolutely.
To get out there and do the school events and local community events and whatnot. So
it's fantastic. Hey, Betsy, could you go tell Delmer to page Steve down here? Because if he misses Nico, I can't share an office with someone that loves dogs. Because the last time we had MPD K9, he was off, and I heard about it. And then I told him that you guys were coming, and he was like, you need to let me know. And I'm sitting here, and I'm just thinking, like, I don't want to hear about it for the rest of the day. And Delmer to the rescue, everybody. Nico now laying down on the nice, cool concrete floor. Yeah, this is great. I again, to know that we have Nico when we need him. He's getting into some napkins under the table, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome. That is awesome. He is... Listen, maybe he smelled some oregano. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there couldn't be oregano down there. All right. Very good. Let's... well, look at Nico. He's like, I just thought I was doing what I was supposed to. Come on, guys.
Mine.
Look at this. It's mine. I'm sorry. Oh, this is like an epic stare down. He hasn't blinked once. All right, let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and we'll let Steve say hi to Nico when he gets down here. Thanks to Captain Quinn Reese and Zach Lane, Muscatine County Sheriff's Office, and thank you to Nico for hanging out with us here on Hy-Vee today. And if you ever do want to reach out to the Sheriff's Office and would like to have a visit from this good-looking young man and Nico, am I right? They would be happy to do that. Okay. This is awesome. He's like, I want to keep it. Nico, you know what? If you want that as a present from Hy-Vee, we'll be happy to give it to you. Right, Delmer? Maybe Delmer could come and take it from Nico. What do you think? No? He can have it. All right. A little bit of a to-go present from everybody here at Hy-Vee to Nico. Love that. All right. Very good. Let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam on the polar bear action. And, oh, look at, he is like, I really wanted that, guys. It smells phenomenal. Oh, this is great. All right. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That's all we need. I just want him to say hi. Okay, so, very good. Nico, I'm sorry, boo-boo. I was going to say you could take him down the dog toy aisle, but that would probably not go well. That would be the day that all of the tennis balls at Hy-Vee were MIA all of a sudden. Oh, that's right. Bad idea. And Muscatine County Sheriff's Office on Facebook for sure. Active, have to be on there in 2018. Probably get tips and, things from people all the time. So check that out. Nico! Oh, man. It's like, this is not cool, guys. All right, Ryan, we need to do team staffing job board, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. What do we got for time? Yeah, that's good. That's good. There's Zach in the background. And Nico. Just saying. I mean, not even like the bakery is getting to him. He just wants that tablecloth.
He does that with coats, too.
With coats. Great. Well, Ryan's coat's over there. If he wants Ryan's coat, that's fine. I was going to say, I'm surprised he doesn't want, a donut or anything, or... I don't know if that's stereotyping a canine. A dog treat. How about that? Oh, there's a couple. There's a couple back there. All right, let's do the team staffing job board, and then we'll wrap things up. If you or someone you know is looking for an opportunity, team staffing on Lake Park Boulevard. I'm learning that is Lake Park Boulevard over there, right across from Happy Joe's. They give you the job board Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this show. Call Mary 563-316-7634. Opportunity for accounts payable first shift, base pay $16 an hour. Or careers@teamssi.com. Here's Jenny, an opportunity, third shift general labor, $13 an hour, 563-316-7635. I told you I wouldn't forget to call you. And reach out to Jenny for that one. And Jenny also has this opportunity. This is an immediate first shift sorter, $11 an hour, paint mixing experience required. This is in Durant. Over 11 or 1,200 people at this moment have a job thanks to the work of the folks at Team Staffing Solutions here in Muscatine. Also active on social media. And if it's not you, it's probably someone you know that needs an opportunity for sure. All right, we're going to wrap up with Nico on screen, Muscatine County Sheriff's newest canine, out and about, working the streets. And really, Steve, Nico would love to have that tablecloth as a chew toy. Right, where nobody is going to say no here on the show. Right, we are okay with all of that. Thanks to Captain Quinn Reese and thanks to Zach Lane with Muscatine County Sheriff's Office. We'll leave you with Nico and see you tomorrow live at 8:30. Replays on Muscatine Power and Water, cable channel 5 at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. You can always rewatch any of these shows, Hy-Vee Today. Every single one that we've done is on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search for us on there, and we'll see you soon. Nico, ready to go. Check it out.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.
Just turned 2, October 28th.
Just turned 2? I gotta